Hi, this is Dave, Fell Running Guide. Welcome to another navigation task. And this is another one where you've got to look at a photograph, compare it with a map, see if you can work out where the photo was taken, and see if you can identify the feature arrowed by this red arrow here. See if you can find that on the map. So there's the photograph, and there is the map. Now let's have a look at the photo to start with and see what we're looking at. So looking from high ground down fairly steeply onto like a gully or some kind of gorge, if you like, there, down to a T-junction in river and streams, and then we're looking straight ahead along a long valley off into the distance. We've got high ground on our right as we look, going up to an obvious mountain, and on the left as we look, high ground going up to a series of high points, mountains there. So that's what we're looking for. So can we identify that on the map? We're looking down onto a steep gorge or gully and to a T-junction in the valley below. So any T-junctions? Well, there's one there. We're not really looking down a gully onto it. There's one here. So could we be looking down one of these gullies over into that? Possibly, but do the contours fit? Maybe, not 100% sure. What about on this side looking down? Or what about this or this? These gullies that we could be looking down. That makes a bit more sense. And then we've got this valley going off into the distance there. High ground on either side. We've got high ground here, going up to this Binion Beg, this obvious high point with the contours going around it, and on the other side of the valley, up to the high ground here. Now this is where I apologise to my Scottish friends and viewers, because I'm not going to try and pronounce that, because you'll all be emailing me and calling me an idiot for mispronouncing it. So apologies for that, but it's high ground to the left there as we look, and high ground to the right. So I think we can safely say that we're in this high ground here, looking out along water of Nevis. So that's that. But whereabouts exactly? Can we have a look back on the map and see? What else can we see? Well, yeah, we're looking down. It's a bit confused. We've got this foreground here that obscures things a little bit, but we've got there an obvious ridge and there an obvious ridge, and we're looking down onto both of those. So there we're looking down onto that first ridge there, and that second ridge there, and this here is the steep gully with the stream in it, and you can see the tree symbols in there, the woodland, which you could actually see on the photograph if you look there, these trees here. Okay, what else can we see? Well, here we've got this spur here, this rocky spur, which is higher than either of these two ridges. So ridge there, ridge there. Now if we think the photograph is taken from maybe this point here along, then look where that is on these contours in relation to this rocky spur. We're actually, the photo is taken from higher up than the rocky spur, so that is your rocky spur there, that, and we're looking down onto it. So we've got to be higher up, we've got to be somewhere on this part here, because anything from here onwards down there is below this rocky spur. So That's a little hint that can tell us how high up we are. So that's the high point there, and the photo is actually taken from that high point there, looking straight down that wooded gorge between the two spurs and down to there. What else can we see if we look at the photo? What about, can you see that there's got a little pond there? Is it possible to see that on the photograph, just out of interest? Well, there we go, look, just glistening with the light on it. That's the point we're looking at, and it's opposite this gentle bend in the river compared to these bends. And then to the left of it, as we look, we've got this stream that comes in and drains into the river here. So it's coming down from the high ground here, curving in above the pond and then into that point there. So there's your pond, and there's this stream draining down from the high ground, swinging round and into there. And there is that gentle bend in the water of Nevis. So that's just a little bit more detail there. What about the feature that we're looking for that is actually shown as a red arrow? So this here, what are we looking at? Well, if we go back to that, so it's a bit clearer, we'll look at this point here, and it looks like it's a cut out of the hillside, an incision. We've got rocky ground, and it obviously kinks in shape, and it wouldn't be surprising if that had water running down it. So what we're looking at, where is it? It's above this kink in the stream there, but it's not as far away as the summit of the mountain there. So it's between the summit and us. So here's us, there's the summit between us. It's above this gentle bend in the stream there. So what we're actually looking at is this feature here. It's a bit hard to see with the map on this scale. If we just zoom in a little bit there. So that's what we're looking at here. You can see the grey indicating rocky ground. You see how the contours kink in and back on themselves. So it's a definite sort of steep incision, steep cut into the hillside. Again, I'm not going to try and pronounce that and make a fool of myself. But we can see it drains down and into the main Nevis water there. So if we can just zoom out again on that one. So back to our original question, what were we looking at? Where was the photo taken from? The photo was taken from that point there, looking down, steeply down. Some of this is obscured by the foreground, but we're looking down this wooded gully, down to the T-junction, with one stream draining away to the left as we look, and another is a tributary coming in, and then higher Glen Nevis away into the distance, high ground to both sides, and the feature that we were actually looking for, that I'd ask you to identify, is this here, that feature there. Okay, so that's your answer. I hope you got it right, or at least learnt something from it. I hope you enjoyed it, and keep an eye open for more of these navigation challenges. Thanks for watching.